Hey all, we're back with the second game from the regional event that happened at Patriot Games Sheffield. I've got Scott back with me to watch this match between Mitchell Stevens and Justin Martin. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing good. I enjoyed commentary on the last video, so thought I'd come back and do another one. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got.
It's quite funny, we're going from the character you played at the regionals to the character you're looking at playing in the future, with Justin Martin playing Tokoyami 1 off of Chaos. I think it's Fire you were looking at yourself, but...
Yeah, I will be looking at Fire. I mean, Fire became kind of a favourite symbol of mine through other characters.
So they're up against Mitchell Stevens, who will be running Deku 2 on Good. I'm expecting this list to be quite similar to the Tetsuya list, just minus the Tetsuya specific attacks.
Yeah, I mean the two characters they kind of play similarly. The only difference being the stats kind of skewed. You get +1, +3 card on the card, and your 6-hand.
Yeah, you don't get that built-in damage redux, but you do get a way to build foundation.
Oh, this will definitely be good. I'm guessing we're going to see some fast games.
Yeah, probably more likely than the Recovery Girl and Tetsuya match. Since we've got two characters with more hand tier, and both of them are known for being aggressive, let's see how this goes. Right, so Tokoyami's won the dice roll, and we're picking up just after the players have done their millions. Starting off with two copies of One Way Nature, a Chivalrous and a Requesting. That's a pretty good start for Chaos.
Yeah. By itself, One Way Nature is such a good card. So having two in play at the start of the games. I would really like to build maybe 5 instead of 4, but...
Yeah, what can you do, man? It looked like they hit a bunch of running free checks as they went. Okay, we're seeing 5 from the Deku player thanks to new training method. Playing a one with nature of their own. There's going to be a case of how many one with natures have played between each other.
Is that going to be a stat?
That's going to be a start, maybe. We'll need to see. I'm with a home run comment here. I don't particularly hate this, right? You can guarantee the momentum for later. So you can just choose a foundation that you don't mind losing here. Other than that, it's just a poke, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Tokoyami, you're going to want to play your Dark Shadow route. Ring.
It looked like they pitched a copy of Summon Dark Shadow for the One Way Nature. That guarantees that there'll be a copy there for him to pick up in a second. Character enhance.
Yeah, so like, pitch a card, get some damage, attack card with the block.
And then you get to pick up the Summon Dark Shadow that you discarded.
Especially if you're not going to be coming in for a big string as well.
I think in Tokoyami there's better cards to open a string with than Home Run Comet, so this must just be a poke. Looks like Lost in Thought's getting used. Seems pretty early for that. Just picking up a Recovery Girl's Kiss and bouncing one of the copies of One Way Nature. That's an aggressive removal of a One Way Nature for turn 2.
I mean, you've got to respect Tokoyami. Like, yeah, you're needing your Dark Shadow rune so that you can play your string, but you've got to respect that this man can still come in and do a lot of damage. And taking your opponent's foundations away
doesn't really take it away, just effectively turns it face down, right?
Aye.
It does remove that like bonus speed potential. And we see the face down and just get added to momentum. I guess that like prevents the One Way Nature that's committed being added. Hulk does some damage. We see the One Way Nature coming back, right? Oh, and here comes the third. We're 3 turns in, right? Counting both sides. We've had a turn each, and then Tokoyami players had a second turn. And there's a full playset of 1 with nature on this table. This is...
I mean, I've said it before when we've been playing, like, back and when we played in Standard, like, 1 with nature wasn't considered that great a card.
Yep.
I don't think I'd seen it played that often. And to see it in, like, every deck that can play it is crazy.
Not even that, we've seen that Irrefutable's been used here to seal the 1 with nature. So not only is everyone playing it, but people are actively playing around it. Because it's just doing so much in this format. This Wind Up Punch has been given some stats for Deku. It's got the stun too. Coming in relatively hard considering Tokoyami's only a 20 health character.
Yeah, I mean, big 5 mid for 9 damage, that's half your health.
Yeah, that's nothing to laugh about, man. That's scary stats for like the first attack you've seen off your rival this game. Doesn't help that the Tokoyami player's mostly committed. I would be slamming a card to that 1 with nature just to make sure this connects. Looks like he's considering about blocking. Yep, blocking on a 7. Checks what's needed, and that'll be a breaker too, thanks to the Ice Storm? Ice Storm. I keep calling it Icy Slide, but that was a Sub-Zero attack.
So it didn't connect. We will just go back in.
Yeah, that was
for a build. Oh no!
Oh look, falling up. This is a sad Valiant Assault, right?
What's happening here?
It's on a 6. Like, he did check and still triggered the combo, so that's a definite misplay here.
Yeah.
Not been caught by either player, right? Otherwise there would have been a judge call or something. But, you know, we were talking about it in the last game. Sometimes you just get into these play patterns or things that you just do instinctively. We could have seen so many games done here by Mitchell that he's just got into the habit of you play a punch, you follow up Valiant Assault and combo.
Yeah, but
that is it's a big one, man.
That's a huge misplay, but again, it's a mistake.
You hate to see misplays like this, but I don't think there's any intent behind it. Anyway, a month ago. Yeah, followed up with some build. Didn't trigger the response on new training method. I'm wondering if he's just cautious about the amount of cards he's got in hand, given that we're going into Tokoyami's turn. It looks like he's kept 2 in hand. Would have been 2 from the Valiant Assault, because they followed up with...
Yeah.
Some...
You should have none in hand?
Yeah. And now we see Dark Shadow Rune.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the start.
Completely threw me here, because it's one of the regional promos from last time, correct, right? Oh, some event from last time that we didn't get. Deku is using Covery Girl's Kiss here to gain 1 health back, and the action tracker's missed it.
Okay, yeah, I've not seen that.
Been the hardest part about placing the card images in these games is playing Guess the Card.
Yeah.
Some would say there's too many different art variants, but
yeah, like there's so many things. Like I was sitting across from the alt art high value target, and I'm like, what is that?
Oh, interesting. We're seeing a cremation here instead of a summon Dark Shadow. So that's going to push the speed of this attack to 7 high. Interesting that he used cremation here instead of summon Dark Shadow. I wonder if this means he's playing 2 playsets of each of the actions, taking up 8 slots in his deck. Definitely making it connect with this 1 with nature, and then we see the 3 1 with natures, or the 2 not 1 with natures in play. Something. I think we're missing a trigger here on the action tracker. It should have been 3 1 with natures.
Something that I've not commented on. I don't think I needed to the last game, but the fact that players aren't using dice to to mark
Oh
things.
yeah, to mark things, it
Like-
becomes so much harder to like work things out, right? It's because there's so many of these apps that people are using nowadays. It's just unfortunate that the app that these two are using is sitting off camera.
Yeah.
There may be some issues here with the action tracker or the damage, the attack stats. But we get it as accurate as possible. I mean, didn't expect them to be able to block this effectively 9 high for 10 or 11 damage, debatable.
Didn't.
Yeah, must just not have had the attacks to go. Well, I guess they did just check a bunch. So I'm having to come back after the fact and record a few lines to fill this gap. I don't know what was up with the microphone on the day, but for some reason it just was only picking up Scott every so often.
I mean, it is an issue that Tokoyami has as well.
Not that you can only hear Tokoyami every so often, but more a case of Tokoyami failing to draw attacks to build a string with. We're seeing this final smash coming in at 4 difficulty here. Tokoyami's definitely got 8 or more. As you're saying, man, like, if you don't have draw, then you need to work with what you've got. And makes you wonder if popping the Chivalrous in his first real attack turn was really worth it. Why not hold it until you need it more? Or maybe he expected to be able to do much more with that turn.
Yeah.
We just seen Foundation get stacked on top of the deck, I believe, from Final Smash's ability.
I do not rate this card.
Yeah, you were saying to me before we started recording. I just maybe we've just not played against it, but I think it works against me because I build a lot, so I'm kind of always wary of it. I don't know if I'd say I'm wary, right? It's always a 4 dip against me. What I'm getting at. I mean, Summon Dark Shadow go to hand here. Extra wee card to block with. I mean, with Deku, right, this has become it's a 4 difficulty 6 high for 10. You still don't look so...
I'm not excited by this card whatsoever. I mean, until I get hit with it.
Yeah, until you get hit with it.
Repeatedly get smashed in the face.
We're seeing a block with a cremation here. One thing that we never really spoke about in the last game, but it really... I don't know if it's the old Magic player in me. I don't mind the alt art so much, but I don't understand people playing like, here's a one-off of my fancy cremation, here's a one-off of my normal. Make all your cards uniform. Because if you don't, you're just giving away information. It's... there's a staple of the good package. Hardened Jab coming in. It's going to ready some of those foundations that have had to be committed. Or ready one of them effective. Okay, didn't use the Deku ability, so it was just in for 4. This card's so good, man. If you've not had a chance to play with Texas Smash, it just does so much.
I've not had a chance to play with Texas still. The only deck that I would have played in would be Ketsu. I mean, I think the double discarding for...
Yeah, you're fighting for card placement there.
Yeah. But in Deku 2, yeah, I would 100% put in this.
Especially with the any means necessaries in your deck. Still getting that bonus off it. Requesting assistance, we readied some foundations, we've got the combo yet again, threatening this damage, 5 high 10, and like it's half the hill. Tokoyami just needs to be on point with the defense. Yeah, half block. So unlike the last game, this has definitely been more fast. The pacing is completely different here and there.
So much hammering, so many attacks flying. I'm excited to see who's going to win this. It's getting close.
Oh yeah, like that's another Texas Smash coming in. Like,
I do think that this is the end of their attack run.
Yeah, the Deku player doesn't have much of a board left. Definitely going all in, right? There's another Midoriya. 5-5-10 again. I'm not sure how relevant it is at this point. Like, this attack's not threatening lethal on a partial. Maybe just keep your cards for defense or build.
Yeah, like, so I'm wondering like where his thoughts are here. You're leaving yourself wide open.
That was it, right? You elected to discard a card to increase damage and get some stats after your opponent released. So your opponent's already went, hey, I'm blocking this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to lose a resource to block this.
We're left with one in hand. One foundation. Yeah, one?
Yeah, one foundation up, one in hand.
Deku. Don't think is looking too good.
At this point, hope and pray, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
that's all you can do. You're hoping that your Tokoyami rival is going to draw grey.
Yep. Unlikely with 7 hand size, but we've seen it happen. Especially at local.
I mean, it's happened.
Might be them talking out his attack turn. Very aggressive game, like the Tokoyami players obviously already cycled. I guess that's what happens when you're milling 5 cards at a time for stability. But we lost 3 attacks. Kinda hard to tell though. But it looks like he's lost 1 copy of Dark Shadow Rune.
I mean, to me, that's what counts.
Oh yeah, it's the Dark Shadow, right?
That's what matters.
Tokoyami players probably in the tank right now try to work out their kill turn so they don't come up short the way that Deku just did.
I really wish I could see his hand.
Something to look into for the future, man. We did take our portable setup for this event, so we didn't want to take up too much space. And Tokoyami's coming in with a Twisting Azuro Inferno.
So I mean, for me, this kind of obviously offsets your at least 1 Dark Shadow. If you can get it to 7 damage.
Yep.
Helps out, because Dark Shadow Rune, got a playset of that, this will help.
All it took was a single one with Nature in hands to get it to 7 damage thanks to this triple one with Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even with you saying, man, about it offsetting the one like coming Dark Shadow, you also got to factor in this minus speed. It's effective +1 speed, sorry, that you're gaining thanks to the hack on your opponent's side. It's irrefutable the passing, irrefutable the new training method just to like salt the wind apparently. Showing off that he's in this situation where he can, he's like, you don't get to draw a card. And we see the check failed there on 7 damage.
Show me an attack.
Yeah, that's all she wrote, man. I love the little swag, make the check with the dice on top of the deck, but the dice didn't move.
Yeah.
That's
you could be practicing that.
Oh yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't trying it already, man. Quite a game, man. And here we see the Deku player confidently laying down their 4 foundations because they know they're playing safety freeze. So there was no way they could fail them. That was what, 2 self-sacrifice, a male bonding, and a recovery girl's kiss.
I've ever seen them play foundations look like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like the way it looks visually. Murder to edit. The action tracker doesn't like it. Well, that's unfortunate, failing the chivalrous, but we see the Tokoyami player getting a 4 build again. Okay, so this is my favourite time to throw a hardened jab. You might not be drawing a card off it, but you're at least going up a resource. definitely helps since they checked the free kill. Tokoyami's grabbing that Dark Shadow. These are going to be so impactful here, right? Because just like the Tetsu player, this Deku must be mostly mid.
It's a problem with the punch package. So many of them are mid.
I don't think we've seen a hardened chop last game. I'm pretty sure that's the Tetsu that I'm remembering. So the Deku's off zone will be the... Life me, can't remember the name of it. Oh my god, Joanna. Texas Smash. We get there eventually. Here we see Valiant Assault and the combo E actually being resolved. I feel sorry for this guy, right? It's my biggest fear to watch my own gameplay back at some point and realise a massive misplay.
Aye, well, we'll maybe need to analyse some of your games, because you definitely Gears Auto type for misplaying.
We'll do that at some point once we get past this block of videos. Yeah, okay, so we've seen the first one with nature played. No, I'm telling lies. There's a one with nature in play already. Tokoyami built 1-1. Looks like that's the players finally resetting the health counter.
Things are about to go down.
Yeah. Oh, there we go, nice wee plus speed and taunt.
Best keyword.
Taunt.
Best keyword.
Actually quite clever here, right? Because now, thanks to the bonus speed, he doesn't really need to rely on Cremation or Summon Dark Shadow to turn on the second enhance heal. Needs damage from somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, going to mill 5 for that Summon Dark Shadow anyway, because it's effectively draw a card. Destined must have called attack, so they've added it to hand. It's E-flip, name a card type. Sometimes you know, mate, sometimes.
Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, just thought it'd be best double checking with you, man. Tokoyami player must be wondering whether or not to... Oh, okay, they're just discarding the Summon Dark Shadow to Woman Nature. Getting the damage that way. I thought they might have been considering actually playing the card.
I've not seen them play one yet.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see a Tokoyami player not play Summon Dark Shadow. And 9 damage being dealt here. We keep saying about Tokoyami getting these 10 damage attacks thrown at them, but 9 damage is still like a third of the Deku player's life. Adds up.
I'm interested to know how fast was it?
Only 6 high, I believe. 6 effective, 8 high.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he won natured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's fair enough. I was wondering why it wasn't. Just trying to get.
I try to work it out. Just personally, like, talking out, but I'm not a fan of where face downs in Legendary are compared to relation to his hand. I know me, we get 20 minutes out of this game, I'm going to forget what piles my hand. And
I've did it myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh no, wait there. Oh, yeah, that's my hand.
yeah,
It's marking with dice, speed or something. Especially like when you're playing with your face downs quite a bit. It can get messy.
taking a long time to work out things here. Kinda hard, like, so the Tokoyami player probably doesn't know how much to commit to this. Deku player is still sitting with 5 cards in hand from the previous turn thanks to Valiant Assault. The defenses are there. Oh, we're seeing a cremation play now. This is going to make this, what, 7 mid 6? Just off being able to get that bonus enhance. The bonus to checks, I should say. Especially with the one with nature being committed here. So I don't think there's any way for them to push that extra damage. And yeah, we see the attack fully blocked. Deku player did need to commit out mostly for it, but... decision to make, like, surely you just tap the Tokoyami here, right? Or maybe he's kind of relying on the mouth or summon Dark Shadow.
And I suppose it's a mid block.
Yeah, mid blocks are proving pretty vital in this matchup. Right, so coming in with a back alley and a 5. Is this the first back alley we've seen in this game?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, at least we know the Tokoyami player won't be on back alleys. Team Woman Nature used irrefutable ceiling. The Woman Nature, I believe, just in case of future attacks. Not looking good for the bird. Only 2 ready cards in their staging area and 2 cards in hand. Hopefully for them, the Midoriya deck hasn't drawn that many attacks this round. You know, for a second I completely forgot back alley had stun too. That explains the irrefutable more here. It's you use it before you lose it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not what you want to be, man. Completely tapped out, other than the character. When your opponent's got a full grip and they're coming in. Especially those 2 self-sacrifices that were in play, they could definitely add up. This would worry me, right? So, your opponent knows that you're pretty much completely tapped out. And they choose to build a foundation instead of draw that one more card.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tail.
Yeah. 6 damage in. It looks like we've seen the Midoriya response being used to get another copy of Self-Sacrifice to play. Yeah, man. I think the Midoriya player's accidentally readied 2 foundations. They've caught them himself. They must have picked up the face downs to look at them and then forgot that 3 were committed. There's so many cards in hand now they can just throw about their weight. But we do see like Breaker 2.
The Breaker 2 might help.
There's enough resources to fight through it, right? So this is what, on a 8? Just takes the 3 face downs they have. Rough, man. The Deku player still has 6 ready cards in their staging area.
6 ready. Plus over self-sac. Plus over discard.
With the triple self-sacrifice, this almost threatens lethal itself. Tokoyami's -1 is only going to do so much.
I don't think it's going to do enough.
Yep. Oh, it looks like this one will be going to game 3. Which you can only imagine will favour the bird. Because they'll get to go first. This very much feels like a... just enough foundations. I don't even know if the Tokoyami player has any cards in hand. Imagine so. Yeah.
Oh, they did.
It's probably the purple sleeves and the purple card sleeves, funnily enough. Okay, so plus 3 at the next check. They're still in it to an extent. They've effectively given -1 speed. This. They're 2 into progressive. Blocking on an 8 and looked like they flipped a 4. That's unfortunate.
Okay, game 3, all to play for. player going to want that draw. I think it's hard, fast, and loose.
Yep. Tokoyami player, yet again, only getting a build 4. Really not what you like to see as a 7-hand aggro character. Did look like they played a petty squabble though, we haven't seen that in any of the games so far. I wonder if that's a sideboard card or not. See, oh, that's 6 from the Deku player, thanks to the bonus build from New Training Method. Not sure, going by what the Tokoyami player played, right, I'm not sure if I would have left the Lost in Thought to be my bonus build and kept the Passing the Torch up. Like, I don't think you need to remove the Petty Squabble. So if we chose for this to be the bonus build, I'd have had a Passing the Torch ready.
But I think you're right, he's built 6 with 1 in hand. He's to hit the Passing the Torch up so that he can either throw away a card or block and draw 2. 100%. Good to be feeling pretty brave here as a third player. Depends what your deck's giving you right enough. If you've been given orange,
we see Irrefutable being used here just to seal the Lost in Thought. I guess this has only been used because he's about to ready it back up with Freezerburn. I wonder if this card's literally just here for the mill 3, right? So you get 3 more cards in your discard pile and it brings 3 cards closer. Some in Dark Shadow.
Yeah, but again, we've not really seen him play one.
Yeah, we've not.
I mean, what he has, he's played them as blocks.
You need Summon Dark Shadow when you've got Cremation. I know there's a few players that are quite high on Freezerburn. I've just not had a window where I've used it or had it used against me where I really care.
Card I've heard talked about.
Here comes the woman nature.
So this better be a stat. This release.
Yeah, that one's release.
Right.
The pretty artwork really. Woman Natures would have also been all over this tournament, just like back alleys.
Yeah, that's another stat. Let's get all the deck lists.
Get all the deck lists, have a look. What's the most common used cards in each? This Final Smash just hitting 8?
It's been a 4 diff twice this game.
Looks like he stacked an attack here, maybe intending to draw it with a Passing the Torch. Opponent does have a Irrefutable in play. Surely this is the... Wait, does Irrefutable even hit? The bottom enhance spell, enhance remove, conceal anything. Okay, never mind, these just went with a shock treatment. Don't know if I'd have took that line, given the 2 it can't be fixed. Either way, that free check is not being drawn here or checked, I guess. Yeah, I think I'd have chose to remove an Irrefutable instead to seal the Passing the Torch. Leave your opponent to check a free. But I guess we don't know, he could be holding like an any means as a backup. So if he discard it from hand, he'll still draw.
Yeah. Again, you
oh yeah, without seeing hands. Probably.
Everything is speculation.
Even about hitting the free check. Definitely not going to be as impactful as the last time, Michael, because the rival still has so many ready foundations. Plus that release sitting. Then 2 coming in. Back alleys, man, that is... I would be looking at the build option here though, because I think he's only got 4 ready foundations. And he's choosing to Lost in Thought. The Woman Nature back to hand? Maybe. His opponent was suggesting the Woman Nature. That's...
I don't know if I would have picked the Woman Nature.
maybe hit the release instead.
Yeah, I definitely would have hit the release.
The only thing I can think of not hit the release or hit the struggling with studies is if you don't want to give those block zones back. But it just dawned on me the Lost and Fought, the enhanced, the foundation he would have debuilt would have been the attack that he tried to stack a second ago. It got built with it can't be fixed. So we can assume that he's added that attack to hand. And we're seeing Summon Dark Shadow here coming in again with the mid block. Wind Up Punch is actually on a 4 here as well. Coming in 4 mid 7 by default, thanks to the amount of foundations in play. Gains the stun 2 though, which I don't believe any cards have been discarded this combat phase. But any of his cards have been discarded, so I believe that's a misplay, right?
Yeah. Did he discard? Yeah, I don't think he discarded.
Yeah, he's not using the Deku stats. I mean, there's Deku stats now. There's a little bit of sequencing error. Yet again, it could just be one of these you're so used to.
Yeah, like it sometimes just becomes that. Yeah, I play this. This ability is going to happen. It should happen.
But like it was blocked thanks to the Summon Dark Shadow. Definitely would have really considered hitting the struggling with studies instead of the one with nature, but maybe he's just thinking ahead. And like, I don't want to play through 2 1 with nature the following turn. Up the cards on the table. Entering the think tank here.
Yeah, time to do some math.
This is always my weak point.
Math?
Yeah, thinking it out, man. Like, I'm not quick enough. I need to apologise to my opponent and I'll be with you in a minute. Normally the dice are out at this point and like try to add up my attack turn. Okay, starting off with an indiscriminate. If you wanted damage, this is definitely going to do damage. Getting easily excited, get a weak speed and taunt. Too good, man.
Taunt.
Indiscriminate shock has sealed something. Not indiscriminate, sorry. Looked like he was thinking about using irrefutable to seal something, but changed his mind.
What's to steal?
There was a copy of It Can't Be Fixed. So it would have been is it worthwhile to emit yourself a foundation to stop your opponent building a foundation when you stun them?
Why not?
Yeah, probably not if you're coming in for your attack turn, right? Or your kill turn. Summon Dark Shadow going to hand. I wonder if we'll finally see one played.
I hope so. Because otherwise I am totally rethinking how I play this character.
Seeing a petty here. So both players have to discard 2 and then draw 2. Looks like the action tracker has this ability the wrong way around. And spot that in future.
So as Deku, I'm thinking, does he actually have anything? Is he just digging?
Could also be an alternative way to get your character committed. You know, because playing Summon Dark Shadow is overrated. Okay, thanks to the 1 with nature, this is now effectively 6 low for 6 before getting the damage bonus. I think it's going to get +5. Unless I miscounted at some point.
5.
Get a wee half block here. Still 6 damage getting through. Tell you what, I'm sad that we didn't get any real standard tournaments over here before MK rotates. I wanted to play a deck of this in Frostham. Put Roy back together. I know he's no standard legal, right? But
Roy?
EK would have fun. You do get fourth kind, right?
And you've got Lock Clock coming up.
Oh yeah.
That man
I keep forgetting he's a thing. Well, he's a character for the show, never mind a character in the game. Oh,
yes!
momentous event, like the first Summon Dark Shadow played. I feel like this should be a statistic by itself.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, man, this is new 5 mid 8, effective 6 mid 8, hack your check. Deku player's been injured at some point. Health bars only shown. One with nature. Make it effective 8 mid 9. I don't think it's a case of no block, I think it's impossible to block at this point, right? And beautiful, man. Follow up indiscriminate, passing the check thanks to all the bonuses. A lot of committed foundations.
Going to do damage.
One with nature pumps.
Yeah, you're wanting to guarantee this hits as much as possible.
I believe it's missing a speed and damage here as well. Cause Summon Dark Shadows in the pool. So it should already have speed on it. See if we can catch that before the video goes live. Half blocking on an 8. Check failed and that looks like it's it.
Wow.
Back to back indiscriminates will definitely do it, man.
One Summon Dark Shadow played on off. I've never played it like that. Might play it like that in the future.
That was a good game, man. Right, so moving on to the stats, and sadly Scott's not with me since the stats screen was actually made about a week after we recorded the audio for the game. So in his place we have Emma joining me.
Hey there.
So have you had a chance to watch the game yet?
I mean, I think I've heard all of it about 20 times by now, due to editing it.
Alright, okay, so you should be familiar enough to talk about these stats with me.
Hopefully. They both built roughly about the same amount of foundation. That seems pretty typical, right?
You played 3 games. Each game you want to be like, floating around about that deadlock just before it level. So that's 10 foundations per game.
Which adds up, I guess. Do you think he was maybe scared of deadlock?
Do you know what it could be? It could be the fact that these are both quite aggressive characters. So there's not really a chance to go into deadlock.
Some aggressive decks I play, like I get to 5 foundations and I'm like, okay.
So looking at Tokoyami, we see 27 foundations, a little bit less than Midoriya.
I guess Tokoyami was sort of hindered by only having about 4 foundations in his build turns start of the game.
Yeah, it was quite rough.
As a 7-hander, you really want to be getting that 5 to 6. Sounds like me playing a 7-hander, I just never have the luck. What I find interesting, sort of going on to attacks, is the winning player didn't play the most attacks.
The winning player only played 2/3 of the attacks that the loser played. This is quite a telling stat here, is it like?
Yeah, like especially when Tokoyami's only got 20 health. Midoriya threw 5 more attacks into a lower health character and still didn't win.
That said, I think another thing that may play into this attack statistic is when we look at the blocks, Midoriya only blocked twice over the course of these 3 games.
That is insane.
I should note this is successful blocks, but it doesn't count each time that they've failed a check when attempting a block.
I guess some of Tokoyami's attacks were quite fast, weren't they?
They were either quite fast, or One with Nature helped them get to this point where they're nigh unblockable.
Obviously being able to pick up the block helped. He only blocked with it once, right?
I think he used it a few times to block with. Talking about enhance abilities though, we see this 37 enhances for Midoriya and 57 for Tokoyami.
Wow. I guess Tokoyami does have 2 enhances on his character card compared to the one for Midoriya, which could come into play, but it also feels strange with the knowledge of the amount of attacks played by each player for Midoriya to have had so little enhances in comparison.
Yeah, that was exactly my thoughts when I was working this out. I had to go back and double check my count twice, because you'd expect the player that played 15 attacks to be the one that's got the most enhances played, never mind being below by 20.
I guess more enhances wins more games is what we're seeing.
Definitely seems that way. And we also see Tokoyami having the most responses played at 19 to 13. I think a large part of this might actually just be One with Nature's.
Yeah, the response for the damage. That makes sense. Obviously, Midoriya's got a response on his card, but it's not really one you use very often. I think was it once he used it?
Yeah, it only came up once. The other responses that come to mind for Tokoyami are Breaker and Twisting Inferno's response for +2 damage.
Tokoyami was also running the response spam for the speed and damage, basic training and easily excited.
Or the Chaos ones that only give 1 stat each. Yeah, so that would have also helped contribute to that. Moving on to a bit of a more balanced stat, we have number of checks passed without having to commit cards. Got 60% of checks for Midoriya and 66 for Tokoyami.
I mean, I think that's decent for both sides there. Could definitely be higher though.
I've got a feeling the only reason that Tokoyami's winning in this stat is thanks to release. And this might also play into why he was able to block so well.
Yeah, that makes sense, with the 9 blocks compared to the 2.
That the Chaos package of 1 with Nature on release. Well, I guess it's the old Chaos package.
I mean, still having release for the defensive is very strong.
Oh yeah, probably the best spam in the game right now, right?
Don't even care that it's a 4-check.
Cards committed to help pass checks. We kind of see release doing a little bit of work here as well, I'm assuming, as Midoriya's had to commit 31 cards over the course of the game, and Tokoyami's had to commit 28.
I mean, 20 is still a big number. There was that turn, I think it was in game 2, might have been when Midoriya won, and he was playing on an 8 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
after
so
the breaker.
I think that was his Texas Smash that he played, should have been in a 6, but Breaker 2 made it on an 8.
I think that definitely would have made quite a big impact on that there for cards committed.
Yeah, I think he checked a 3 on that as well, so that's like 5 alone to that 1. I guess if you know you're coming in for game, you don't mind committing 5 cards.
Oh yeah. You know, unless you've missed your maths by 1 and then you're raging.
Been there. So talking about coming in for game, we have the fastest attack thrown by each player. Quite close with 6 speed for Midoriya and 7 speed for Tokoyami. So this isn't taking into consideration the block modifier hard with 1 with Nature. This is just looking at pure stats.
So technically this 7 could be a 10. I mean, nobody's blocking that.
Moving on, we see greatest damage. Midoriya threw a couple of 10 damage attacks throughout the game. I think it's just easy for them to get Texas Smash, that magic number 10, due to their character ability and the combo E. With Tokoyami, we see an impressive 18.
That's over half of Midoriya's health.
Yeah, so this big 18 damage attack's flashy and everything. At the point that was thrown, Midoriya was only just into double digits.
Oh, depending on what the second highest was, potentially their both greatest damage was 10.
Moving on to additional cards, this is probably the most balanced stat. 15 additional cards for Midoriya and 16 for Tokoyami. It's worth noting this is factoring in things like Hardened Jab and all the abilities that Tokoyami used that made them both draw, or even Deku using Lost in Thought that puts foundations back in both their hand.
Okay, like, it didn't seem they drew that many cards, though Valiant Assault does put in some work.
Especially when you get to use its ability whenever you feel like it.
I don't think it was intentional, but it definitely helped.
Didn't help that much. I think that's probably the best outcome, right? If I ever make a massive misplay like that in a game, I don't want to win and then find out later. I'd rather like lose and find out.
Yeah, at least it was game 2 that he won, not game 1.
Cards discarded as cost.
So obviously with Midoriya's E, you expect him to be the leader, which he is.
He chucked 15 attacks during the game, 10 of which he got to use his enhance on. I couldn't imagine playing a game with Tetsu, playing 15 attacks and discarding 10 times.
7 for Tokoyami, still quite high.
I can't believe that between the two of them they've managed to play a playset each game of 1 with Nature.
I almost feel sorry for Midoriya with his low number of 5, which normally would be like, that's pretty decent.
5's a reasonable number, like, you've got, what, 50 cards in your deck minimum? Odds of you seeing that 1 foundation 5 times? Not exactly that 1 foundation, but seeing 5 foundations at your playset over the course of 3 games?
If you told me that 2 out of 3 of my games I was going to have 2 1 with Natures in play, I'd be over the moon.
As Scott was saying, I'd love to know the maths on how many 1 with Nature was actually played at the event.
I think it was nice to have its farewell tour, which effectively it kind of was. I mean, it was around for a little bit after that,
I think
but
it was for 1 more regionals and then it got banned. Might have been 2.
I mean, it's definitely had its mileage.
I think we've definitely got 1 mileage out of this stat screen, so we're going to start the wrap up. Right everybody, thanks for joining us as we looked over Game 2 from the Sheffield Regional. Hopefully next week we'll have up the Round 3 game between Kyle playing Momo and JP playing Shigaraki 3. I don't know who'll be commentating that one yet. Maybe Emma and I will be back to do a full game.
We'll see.
Or maybe it'll be some other guys from the Dorbles. Take care, and hopefully you check sixes.
How do I sign off?